All right, everyone. We're here. We're live. The man, the myth, the mullet, Kevin is joining us tonight. So if you got questions, get them in the chat box. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to have some fun. It's been a while since people asked Kevin stuff. Kevin, do you still snowboard?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a running joke at the shop now that I basically just show up with about 3 or 4 different outfits, 3 or 4 different setups, and I just go and I do one day. I take a bunch of photos and then I go. And then just post stuff throughout the season to make it look like a snowboard. But
yeah. So,
I don't
anyways,
snowboard anymore.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with stuff. But anyways, if you got questions, we're gonna try to wind down everything we got going on here, and just kind of go from there. So, and they want to see your mullet.
I mean, the top of the head's gonna be messy because I've had the beanie on all day. But there's the front, relatively short, and then yeah.
It's a well coiffed mullet.
The girl cuts it. I didn't have time to gussy myself up. So
Kevin came right from work.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay. So let's get these 2 super chats out of the way, or 1 or whatever the hell we got here. I think we got 2. So we got one from Drew Gallagher. Attempt 1 of 3 to win a snowboard I don't need but desperately desire.
All right.
Give the man a spin. Spin I think I've seen in a while. Well, let's pick a random question and give him an answer, and then we'll give him a spin. All right, so we got one here from Average Canadian in 2022. What other brand's version of Magnet Traction works best? What's your take on that?
Play Arbor Grip Tech. That's the first one that comes to mind. Yeah, I think they nailed it. They talk in their marketing spiel, when you ever see one of the reps or anything, they talk about how after they introduced System Rocker, and then obviously once they introduced System Camber, they haven't changed it, and they haven't, because it actually works. Yeah. They haven't had to change it. Even Mag has changed since it was introduced. Even since it was introduced with Rocker, it's changed since then. So yeah, like that has always gone under different evolutions. It's mellowed out. It's been tweaked. It's been concentrated in different areas, and Grip Tech has not changed because it just works. So.
Yeah. Well,
it just makes sense to have a protruding point right where the 2 side cuts converge. It just works.
Did you ever try the Signal Sierra that I've got behind you there on the wall? So it's got the quad side cuts on it. That works really, really well.
Yeah.
And then you owned a niche story too.
Yeah, and that's got a version of Mag,
but it's like that aggressive.
I've got an ether, but yeah. Because their idea behind it was they mellowed it out underneath the camber zones and then concentrated the Mag and made it more aggressive in the rocker zone, which makes sense. That's where you're starting your turn from. That's where you're putting the most pressure then into the board in initial turns. So it makes sense to concentrate there. And I always thought it worked well. It had a little bit of drag to it, obviously, but nothing that really ever bothered me. So,
yeah, I'd agree with the Arbor Grip Tech. I really dug that stuff seemed to work well.
Yeah,
I'm liking the new Jones stuff too, with just the contact points right underfoot in the cam rocker, just the 2.
I read anything with that? Is it?
You rode the Stratus, didn't you?
Originally, but that was like.
Oh, you didn't have demo day when I saw you.
One. No.
Did you take the Stormwolf?
I did. Does that have that?
I think so.
I don't know. It was really choppy by the time I took that out.
Yeah,
so I'm not really sure I could tell much. In one run.
Yeah, one run.
Yeah.
So, oh well. I hope everyone likes my shirt. It's a special one. All right. So we got to give this man a spin.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's weak.
I'm gentle.
Hey, clearly.
Shop local.
Yeah, we'll shop local.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a super chat here from Orion. Been at my mother-in-law's for 3 days doing nothing. Save me. There's no hope. You're screwed.
Wow.
You're screwed. You're screwed. There's just nothing left. Ooh, person below you gets a spin. Well, that's our girl, Sam Walsh. We'll give her a spin. Oh, man. Oh, God. Person below that gets
another spin.
Well, that comes from our boy Ronan asking if my shoulder's any better. It's a fucking pinched nerve. It's not getting any better. That thing's shot, dude. I got to get to a chiropractor.
Shop local again.
That's right.
Just keep shopping local.
So, anyways, that's about, that stuff. Okay. Let's see this. Mr. Chicka-chan, any of these boot brands, a hard pass, local shop sells Burton Ride, 32, K2, and Solomon. I mean, those are all solid as long as they fit your foot.
Yeah.
Each one's got a different shape to it on the inside. Like that 32 is going to be more like a U with a wide heel, and that the K2 is more of a V. The Ride, depending which models, that the Burton is like a little wider at the forefoot.
It's like a rectangle.
Yeah, rectangle almost.
With like a boxy toe.
Yeah, so that's what you got to do. Give the man a spin.
Am I spinning better?
I don't know anymore.
I need to go to the gym.
I've been doing this all day. Well, sir, you won yourself a medium sticker pack. So all you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and with your mailing address, and I'll get that in the mail, which there's a lot of people winning sticker packs. So, okay. Let's see. We're going to go to Drew Gallagher with his 2 of 3 spin to win. However, the old school board review intro deserves our respect. R.I.P. Averin hand jobbing his decks to start the review.
Oh, those were looser days.
Things were way different back then. A lot of green screen.
Yeah, lots more green
screen.
Lots
of green screen. Yeah. If I can ever get a chance to go talk to the video editor that's supposed to be onboarded for us, things are going to change. Can actually make a new intro and whatnot.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, well, my goal is to make
an actual staff member, or you're just going to throw some money at him? Who is it?
No, Ben's back in the county.
Oh, Ben's back? Oh.
He moved back. So
cool.
Hit me up and was like, hey, I want to do stuff with you. He's
Sweet.
Basically told his job, he's like, I don't want to raise, I want to move and work remote. And they were like, no. And he was like, I quit. And they were like, okay, you can move. So then he moved. Yeah. Then he's been doing work for them, and now we've been talking, but I got to sit down with him. We got to go through like an outline of stuff, but I'll onboard him to work with me, and he's going to do that and work for them, I think, and then slowly phase them out and just work for me. So this is why Angry Snowboarder VIP exists. Yeah. And that. So give Drew a spin and crank it. There we go. Proud of you. I did. Well, there you go, Drew. You won yourself a medium sticker pack. The Angry I-70 Murder Chicken agrees. I love this shirt. This shirt's fucking great. I love this so much. So
do we need some slap stickers?
It's a very gray area with lawsuits.
Sure. Well, but here's the thing: is if you're not from my understanding, if you're not making money on the stickers,
I know. Yeah, that's the whole
why I
thing.
say slap stickers. Like the cheapest things you can buy, just so we can start throwing them everywhere. Anyways, what do we got next?
Okay, so we're going to take this question from the Van Bosch. Averin, why are Union highbacks canted / shaped with the tallest area facing outside versus Burton Ride now, etc., that are canted to the inside to match your leg and stance? They always look backwards. I don't know which now as you're looking at, but they actually have the wing on the outside. Like
yeah, that now does.
And then
I think he's talking about like if you look at the top of it, the point of the high back is towards the outside instead of the inside. Well, if you're canting your legs in and then the point is sticking out here, but I get what he's saying.
Okay. So what's your take?
You got to remember my history with Union. So my gut reaction is it looks cool, and that's why they do it, because it's Union and that's all they care about. I don't know. They are making some better stuff, but my quick little Union rant right now is on the Ultra.
Oh, did you break a toe strap and couldn't replace it, so you had to slice the base of it?
No, but that's the first thing I noticed. Like no forward lean block, whatever. That doesn't really bother me that much.
They come with 6 degrees of forward lean,
which is a lot.
I know.
But the fact that you have to take a rusty razor to replace your
why are your razors rusty?
I just prefer them rusty. Yeah, the fact that you have to do that to replace a toe strap on a $300 binding is mind-blowing, and it just screams lazy engineering.
Well, it's somebody messed up. So here's the other thing. The screw that holds the ratchet, the toe strap on, is a different one than what comes in the parts kit. It's actually smaller. So you have to grind down the other one, and they rushed them, so they didn't put Loctite on them, so they're backing out and falling off.
Jeez. I already said that, which is...
But everything's supposed to be fixed for next year is what I was told.
Better. I mean, that's a pretty big misstep. The fact that you have to take a knife to a $300 binding in 2022 to replace a toe ladder, the most breakable piece or most broken piece on a binding, regardless of brand. It just,
So anyways, to go to the angling, the angling of the high back and the canting on there, it's aesthetic, And then the only way it's functional is if you're one of those people that rotates your high back, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Is if you do rotate your high backs, it has a little bit more effect to it. Because it is because the idea is instead of having the more support behind your leg, it contours the high back. I mean, if you think about it, if you're canting your leg that way and then your high back is also canted that way, that's kind of where that comes from. Is it's taking essentially a flat high back and then canting it up, so the peak is to the outside, so it doesn't feel like it's digging into your leg or causing any calf bite on the inside where that high point normally is on other brands. That's where that's coming from. I haven't ridden enough of the unions lately to really be able to give an opinion on that. Everything I ride has a symmetrical high back, or at least the shape is symmetrical. So
I just ride black labels.
I know. All I ride is Vices and DODs. So
nice.
5-star Rome fam over here.
Yeah, clearly it's all we do. Because I need to ride a 5. I have to own 4 pairs of.
When they make my favorite bindings, they make my favorite bindings. I'm not gonna argue it.
In fact, I can still get a binding without canting on it. Is all I give a shit about.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, give this man a spin, sir.
All right. Ooh, that's a good one.
Proud of you.
Getting better.
Eating your muscle cheese.
And the person below you gets a spin. So
well, that's Jimmy Lee.
Jimmy Lee.
Jimmy Lee.
Well, what's up?
Not to be confused with Jimmy Lee from Double Dragon.
Small sticker pack.
Small sticker pack for our boy Jimmy Lee. All right, let's see. Okay, so our girl Sam Walsh. Yo, Angry, what do you do with those stickers I made you? What do you stick them stickers on? I think those went on one of the mini fridges that I had that I don't have anymore. It's I don't know.
Ashley's at home watching it. She's giving commentary through text right now.
Oh, hi, Ashley. How are you? Do you want me to touch your boyfriend's mullet over here? So this is great.
She said my spins did look weak. So
see, even your girlfriend agrees with me. She probably works out harder than you. This is how this goes. No, anyways, those stickers. Yeah, I used them on something. I put them on. I'm pretty sure I put them on one of the mini fridges and then I shit the bed. But she made me some ones picking on Never Summer. So it was good. It was good. Cool. There you go, Sam. You won yourself a small sticker pack. You know what to do. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and you can claim it. Oh. Well, I'd ask you this question from the super chat, but we know you don't snowboard anymore.
That's right.
Josh Blaustein, best Jerry moment from last year you saw.
I think if I did see anything, I do snowboard.
So you tell people you do. Actually, that's a lie. I saw you snowboard last week.
Yeah.
You did, and I didn't. I just wandered around lost.
I know.
And turned screws.
I rode like 8 boards. 7 boards? 7 boards.
7 boards?
Yeah, I think 7.
Yeah, well, these things happen.
I would have ridden more, but I got there late and they shut down early. Brad left before I could even say bye.
I gotta love Rome. We're at a demo, and he's like, "Oh, it's 1:30. I'm done." And we're like, "This thing goes till 3:30." 10 minutes later, his car's loaded up, and he just drove off.
Yeah,
and we're like,
we started walking around at like 2:00 because I was like, people are gonna start packing up with like, let's figure out what we want to give as our last grabs. And we're like, all right, well, we need to go over and talk to Brad anyways. And he was gone. 2:00, he was gone.
Yeah, but I don't know. So funny things that I've seen. I mean, there's always the guy that skates through the base area across the stone because his binding got stuck like his step on.
Yeah.
You always get that one. I did watch someone try to drive up copper.
Oh,
that was kind of funny. I was like, where the fuck you going? The parking lot stops right here.
Yeah, I guess recently copper lost power because somebody drove off the road and hit something.
That doesn't surprise me.
That affected the job too because we do all the internet and TV over there. So
yeah. So I don't know. I've seen that one. I watched a guy do 45 miles an hour in his car through the Riverwalk here in Breckenridge the other day as I was walking Baroness. I was just like, where the fuck you going? And he's just like tooling down the bike path.
We do get people driving down the bike path even in front of our apartment. And I don't know how they end up on it.
How the fuck?
I don't know.
That is a sidewalk. That's like 20 feet off the road.
It's barely wide enough for a car, and the road is a ditch away. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, but it happens.
Yeah. We live in the mountains. If you ever want a good laugh, you go to City Market and sit in front and watch people roll through the stop sign and almost run people over. Mm-hmm. That one's always a plus one. Let's see. Well, I did watch a little girl go around and miss the stop gate on the chairlift last year because her backpack, or maybe I think she might have had one of those turtle butt pads. I can't remember. So she got, and she just went right around. And she was so little she couldn't hit the stop gate, so she was going downhill, just like hanging by this turtle off her ass. That shit. There was a whole fucking family of like 7 of them at Copper on Monday.
Decked out like elbows, knees, butt,
everything. Elbows, butt, and then like the full on helmet cover, and like they in the like butt thing was like flapping like a and you're just looking at it. I was like, Jesus Christ, that looked
like you don't have to get something novelty that sticks out and causes possible issues. You can get elbow pads and knee pads and a butt pad that all fit underneath outerwear.
I don't know.
Work better.
My new idea is when I see those people to go get a banana, eat it, and then Mario Kart them as I go by and just whip it in their face and be like, banana peel, boom, you're done.
Yeah, they look like Mario Kart figures.
Then it's gonna hit them in the face and they're gonna spin out. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I've seen some good. Oh, I watched a good one today. I watched a guy try to drive down the one way by Kenosha.
Yeah.
And then put it in reverse while it was still in drive and he was going forward. So ground, slammed on the gas and backed into a minivan that was going the other way. Just took his bumper right off in front of the cop.
Oh, geez.
I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive. So
that's tourist panic. That's what we call that.
Yeah. Well, those memes about locals not leaving their house as they peek out the window are very accurate.
They're not that inaccurate.
No, they're
we did all of our Thanksgiving food shopping like a week ago because we didn't want to have to leave the house.
Yeah. Well, Josh, you won yourself a small sticker pack. Let's here's one from Isaac Gone. Should you get a used board that has nicks and dings as well as little spots on the bottom where it looks over tightened? I'll let you take that one.
I mean, that's entirely dependent on your budget and what board it is, how old it is, what the I don't know. Yeah, it depends on a few other things.
It also
as far as
depends
those spots from over tightening, is it base suck or is it base pimple?
They pushed it down.
If the bolt has pushed the insert and it's starting to dimple the base outward, I would say no. If it's just base suck, it depends on how much it is and the rest of the condition. Honestly, I mean, if you're really strapped for cash and it's a decent board and that's really the only major thing, then it's not that.
It also depends on how
basically every channel board out there that's a year old has base suck on it.
Oh yeah. If you leave your board in your Thule box over summer and with your bindings on, it will suck up, as my friend John pointed out to me the other day on his Jones tweaker. I was like, what the hell happened to that? And he goes, well, I left it up in the Thule box all summer. I think it got a little hot.
Yep.
So but the nicks and dings, it depends how deep it is. Like if it's fingernail, you can put your fingernail in there and it's surface, that's nothing. If you can stick it to the first or second knuckle, probably don't. Well, I mean, if you can stick it to the second knuckle, you're going through the top sheet.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I only go to the fifth knuckle.
Well, isn't that 6 technically?
1.
Oh, for counting that way.
2,
right. I'm counting
3,
sideways.
4, 5. It's the fifth knuckle.
I'm counting sideways.
6. 6 is up here.
Right.
That's like
that's a horse.
That's like you're trying to impregnate a cow.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
No.
I'm from the country. Give the man a spin. Is that manly enough for you, Ashley? Oh!
So close.
God damn, I want to get rid of snowboards. This is bullshit.
Couldn't you have done better? Jeez. Oh, wait, that was me.
That was you. What's he got to do? You got to do better.
Spin better from your couch, wherever you are.
Okay, so we got stuff I find interesting. Today was day 1 of the season. Had fun, but saw some kooky things like the ski skate. The skier was stumbling down the whole way. $1 million mullet. Ooh. Should we get a new photo of you? Because we used to do these photos of Kevin with his mustache, and it said Eurocarves, yo.
Yeah.
So now do we need to get a new one with you and the mullet? And then I'll sell it as a sticker, and it'll just say $1 million mullet.
We could do that.
We can do that. Give the man a spin. This is $1 million idea. I'm all about this. All right, let's pick a random question. Let's see. Okay. We got one from Mike B. Havren. Since talking about Arbor, do they not send out anything for reviews anymore? Notice newer models haven't been reviewed in a while. So part of this is my fault for last year. Everyone and their brother all decided to send me everything at literally the same time. And I was like, it was good when it was staggered. I was like, okay, we're going good. And I was about to email Arbor. And then in one day, something like 63 snowboards showed up at once. And I was just like, fuck my life. And I was still going to hit them up. And then my Achilles tendons decided to, I don't know, develop tendonitis or rupture. I don't know. It was close. Yeah. And so I was supposed to email the guy. And it was funny. I actually talked to one of the Arbor guys, and they brought me, he's like, we brought you up in the marketing meeting last week. Like, we've got to work with you. So we're going to reach out. You need to reach out. I was like, this is like all of our, we all sucked at it. We all did this to ourselves, but it's not there's anything wrong with Arbor. It's literally, I had to choose about 5 brands that I just couldn't ride because I was just dying. And I was like, this isn't fair to everyone. I was like, I need to just stop snowboarding or I'm going to blow an Achilles tendon. And I had 2 friends last year rupture their Achilles. I was like, I'm not being the third.
No.
So yeah, hopefully I'll be getting on Arbor in like January, February for the next year's stuff. It's just been a while. I do like their stuff. I think they make solid stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've owned like 8 Westmarks.
Your personal board for like 4 or 5 years was a
Westmark, yeah.
/ Blacklist.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Give the man a spin, sir. Where we going? Where we going?
There go.
Oh, pick a random question. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's a wall of super chats. Let's see. Did you ever use the Darko?
The boot?
Yeah.
No, I ran Anders for like a week.
All right, we're going to go with Ted G here. Hey, Brandon, I have a 156 flight attendant, I'm sorry, and a 154 Mountain Twin. Considering a volume shift board like the Solomon Dance Hall, worth it East Coast ride in Mountain Creek? I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, sure. Anything that's volume shifted that's camber dominant is still going to be fine on ice.
Well, and it's got a real radial side cut.
Yeah.
It doesn't have quadralizer or quadratic or all that bullshit with the weird straight lines
kinks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think definitely go for it, Ted. That dance hall's super fun for a party board, and it'll fit right in there with that unfortunate choice of a flight attendant and then that okay board.
You can get rid of the flight attendant and get a super position.
True.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug for the nerd super position. I give the man a spin, sir. Oh,
man.
Jesus. Told you the wheel's hitting weird. It's off in its own world. All right, we got Tyler Richter. Best bindings to pair up with my Gilson. Thinking clues. I mean, at this point, why don't you just take screws
and drill them through your feet
and drill them through your boot and just put them on there? Actually, no, you're right. Right through the foot and the boot and just drill them on there. And then when you're done with that, take the drill and put it right through your head. And that's what you're going to do. Do not pass go. Get put in timeout. Do not get a spin. This is how we're rolling tonight. Okay, so we got Grubus McKenna with a spin. He just wants one. Boom. Give it to him. Where are we going?
It is not about to do that again. Okay, cool.
Spin again. Give it a crank. Want to get rid of a snowboard tonight, Kevin? Pick a question for a spin. Jeez. Maybe I put too many of those on there this day. That's my fault. Okay. We got Adam Kanowski, Kevin Averin. What do you think of the Evil brand? Lots of boards under $200 on the house. So that is the house's.
I don't know anything about this.
So Evil and Chamonix are owned by the house,
right?
And it's their in-store brands. So Pete from IPP is actually running those now for them because he lives right down the street.
Yeah.
So that's his thing. So the cool thing is you got a guy that does know how to design a snowboard doing that. They're buying them. They're made at Playmaker.
Okay.
And so they're either using open mold stuff that Nitro is using, or they've got their own molds in there. I'll tell you this: the bindings are janky as fuck, and the boots are trash.
Yeah,
boots
and bindings are really, really hard to make budget. Boards, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So boards, especially with a guy like that behind it, and coming out of Playmaker, it's got a decent factory. You got a guy behind it that understands what a good snowboard's supposed to be. So
he was supposed to send me stuff.
Worth a shot, probably.
I mean, here's the way I look at it. You have your top tier brands. So that's your Burton, your Capitas, your K2s, stuff like that, right? Your Solomon. And then you got your tier 2 brands. That's your Dinosaurs Will Die, your Nerd, your Telos, stuff like that, your Signals. Then you get to your like tier 3 brands where you're like, I've kind of heard of them, but I don't really know stuff, So that's like super small brands. Then you got your store brand stuff. And if you're looking at like what companies are doing for store brand, some of it's just straight shit. Like I actually want to do a whole video where I just buy board boot binding packages off Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I can get like board boot binding for like $300 each. So I want to buy like 5 of them and just destroy them. So if we're on that tier, right, and I absolutely have to choose something, I'm going to go to the house and I'm going to pull an Evil or a Chamonix brand from it because the boards at least I know will be solid. So give the man a spin. Crank it.
Medium stickers.
Oh, Adam Kanowski gets some medium stickers. Man, giving out a lot of that. I just got new ones too. So all right, we got Yentema. How do we keep these East Coast resorts from lying about how much snow they have as a base on their mountain at the beginning of the season? Well, simple. You
can't.
You take whatever number they give you and divide it by 5.
East Coast. I've never been there, so not to ride.
It's God. I haven't been there in almost 20 years. No, so I think calling them out, social media blast is great. I think.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's
holding them accountable.
Make noise.
Yeah. That's kind of really where it is. But the other thing is, if you're not on the Open Snow app, I tend to trust that because you can see like what the historical data is for the week and the month before and stuff, so you can kind of figure that out. But obviously if it rains, it's going to be weird and whatnot. Give the man a spin, sir. Really? Let's pick one.
I'm good at these.
You're the best. You're the best at being the worst. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Why people are just getting
a lot of
people just getting. I think this one got let's see. Let's find one here. Okay, we got Jaden D. If you are in between binding sizes, is it better to go bigger or smaller? Thanks.
Depends on the boot. Smaller is usually your best bet. There can be, depending on your boots, fit issues at the heel. Depending on the brand of binding and brand of boot, downsizing may not be better if you have a hard time getting your heel into the heel cup. Outside of that, that's really the only issue is if your boot is too bulky to fit in the frame. Otherwise, downsize because you're going to get a more tighter fit. Pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, that's really where. Give him a spin. Give him a spin. Don't give him a spin. We can do whatever we want here. No rules. It's late. Oh! You suck, Kevin. I'm taking you out back and beating you with a rubber hose.
I feel like that's 2 so closest in like 10 minutes. That's actually pretty good, right?
All right. Yeah,
we're getting close.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Rand and Raven. Ever bummer. Haha, good shirt. It is a good shirt. Give the man a spin for that super shirt. Where are you going with that, Kev? Oh, went just past and gave him a jumbo sticker back. You're getting better with that. I like that.
We're getting close. We're getting really close, people.
Right, so we got a jumbo on that. Okay, so we got S2000 guy. End of the day, you're getting tired, but want to haul ass one last run. What are you blasting? Where Eagles Dare by Maiden or Love Gun by Kiss? Welcome back, Kev. Well, there's only one good Kiss song, and that was I Was Made for Loving You. I don't give a fuck what any Kiss fan says. The Kiss Go album is the best Kiss album, and it's the only Kiss album. Rest of that shit's all trash. All trash. So that means Where Eagles Dare by Iron Maiden. What about you? What do you think? You got anything to
I
say?
don't listen to either one of those. So
yeah, you're over here listening to Blake Shelton.
Taylor Swift.
Oh God. You're one of those people. You paid for the $50,000.
No, we got real tickets before they went that expensive.
Are they in the nosebleed?
No, we got good seats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one here from Eric Klein. Angry. I'm thinking of filing a bevel to the edge on my yes board with underbite. Am I crazy coming in hot with the weird tonight? Oh, man, that's not
that weird.
That's not that weird. Yeah, really.
What's got you interested in doing a bevel?
Yeah,
I haven't cared about my edge bevel in 15 years.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at on that one. So give the man
just do what you want. Couple.
Cool.
I am getting close.
You are just like you are all over the place with that one. Yeah. So Eric Klein got a jumbo. Did he win anything earlier? I don't even know anymore. Everyone's winning shit, and I'm just keep writing it down. This list keeps growing and growing and growing. I'm gonna run out of stickers. Thank God I bought like 4,500 stickers.
Yeah, you're gonna need them.
No, right? Fuck. Okay. We got our moderator Carlos Enriquez looking for a question for you, Kev. What's your take on the new Arbor volume shifted gooch?
I'm gonna get a 1-2 borrow again from my buddy Subrep. When I first rode it, conditions weren't great. I think it was the first thing I rode in the day. And I didn't like it. It didn't feel, it felt weirdly like way too soft torsionally. But my opinion right now is not finished. So get back at me in like 3 weeks and I should have gotten on it again by then. And I will have a better opinion with more time on it in better conditions. But I have very high hopes for the shape. And I've liked the other two gooch boards a lot. So I do have high hopes, but time will tell. That's my answer. Sorry.
Time will. Sorry, my answer is a non-answer.
My answer is a no answer.
We tried. Give him the man a spin.
All right.
Spray skiers. There we go. That's a good one. Okay, so we got Surf Punk, who is 6'1", 190 pounds, size 11 boot, has 10 fingers, people. 10 fingers. It's amazing. Good. Could I get away with a 155 piece? You can get away with a 151.
Yeah, easy.
At 190 pounds with an 11, you can get down to the 51, no problem.
I rode the 51 and really like that size for myself.
Me too.
At a heavy 160 pounds, so it's got some range, that board, I think, depending on what you're coming from, what you're used to. If you're used to riding really big boards, then yeah, maybe 55. If you're used to riding standard size stuff for your height weight, then just go with the 51.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends on what else is in your quiver too, you know. But
Well, there you go, bud. You just won yourself a medium sticker pack, so you know the drill. Email me info@angrysnowboarder and I'll get that in the mail as long as you give me your address. Okay. We got Shane Schmaltz. Woo! Caught all 3 streams today. Do you have any pro ankle rehabilitation exercise tips for post sprain? I mean, after Rice, while things are improving. Well, there's another one called Meat, which is Malort, edibles, amplitude, and titties. Meat. I don't know. Someone told me that there was a new acronym called MEAT, and I needed to look into it. So I just made up my own. You can't.
What is RICE? I don't know what RICE is either.
Rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Well, yeah. Once you're done with that, the actual advice.
PT.
PT. And the simplest thing to do is go get yourself an exercise band, something light. You don't need a ton on it. Just put just enough tension. You're not going to feel any pain.
Yeah.
And then just do the ABCs with your foot. You're just going to work all of the directions of it, all the ankle flexion, all of that movement. We are also not certified PTs, so don't sue us. That's it.
If you're going to sue anyone, sue him.
Don't do that.
He's got money.
I'm
poor. I'm literally poor. That's right. Ollie them slow signs. Okay. Let's see. Man, people just getting put in timeout left and right.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. We got done living. What size Supermatic for a 215-pound size 11.5? Binding suggestions would be nice too. So, what is it? Hang on. So they do make, but the large, does that large stop at 11?
I don't know.
I can't remember. There's like, so there you want a large is the biggest size with the 11.5, but double check. I think it maxes out at 11. It's weird like that. There's like something weird with, but yeah, you want the large with that. I assume you're going for just because you want ease of entry. I mean, this will be the most performance one for a true step-in.
Yeah.
But if you want other suggestions, I'd probably look at like an SP or a Flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a Burton step-on guy because you're stuck in their proprietary system, and you
don't have a lot of boot options.
So the other option, have you seen this yet? Everyone that bought first generation, their boot cleat is collapsing in on the boot and completely destroying the boot, and they're now popping out of the binding on the side.
Oh.
And the boots just aren't beefy enough for it, so there is that issue going on there as well.
It's easy to fix, but yes.
Yeah, so give it a spin.
Yeah.
You
lose.
Okay. Well, if your message got deleted and you super chatted by the moderator, you probably fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam Kanowski wants you to unleash the fury, show them the mullet, and give him a spin.
The mullet, which looks really bad right now, everybody. It looks much better if I have time to, take care of myself. But
Kevin doesn't groom or shower. Ask his girlfriend.
I do. There you go. The mullet.
The mullet.
Beautiful.
Crank that spin for the man.
That was so close to being the proper selection.
All hail the mullet.
Anyways,
I put
local.
I put that one on there for you. Okay. We got Grubus McKenna. Best goggles between Spy, Smith, Dragon, Giro. So in that order, I would go Smith, Dragon, Giro, Spy, in my opinion. And that only because Smith, Oakley are at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, from personal experience, I've had terrible luck with Smith personally. Every pair of Smiths I've owned have always fogged in between the lenses. Every single lens I've ever had.
Really, it just separates. See, I've had really good luck with them, but I've been a Dragon guy now for 5+ years.
As far as the optics go, you're going to be good with. The only one I don't really have a ton of experience with is Spy, just because we've never really sold a lot of them. But yeah, you're going to be good with.
Well, that's like what Happy Lens is what they call it.
Yeah. But you're going to be probably fine with any of those. My best recommendation is if you can try some stuff on, just find what's the most comfortable. Yeah, just stick with that. That's the easiest answer. Whatever's most comfortable.
Okay, so let's.
Spin? That's a spin.
Yeah, it's a spin. Yeah, get the man a spin.
You lose again.
Okay, Jay Morin. Averin, I want an Orca, but not sure which size. I have more POW-specific boards, but I like the side cut on that party board for groomers. Mostly 6 foot and 185 pounds. You're mostly 6 foot? Does that mean you're really 5'11" and a quarter? Just the way that reads is funny. I would probably actually bump up, and this is my thinking on this after, which I actually have a workout to give away eventually. The way I look at it after riding it, it's softer than you'd think, right in the dead center, like super soft. And it can get a little squirrely in tight trees if you're really mobbing hard. So it's tough like that. And I think going to a bigger size will make that Ashley.
Yes.
Talking shit. Would she say no?
Well, she has said since things have gotten going, to interrupt. She said, spin it like I mean it, or I don't get to come home. And she said, much better. So I've been getting better with my spins. And then I think under releasing my mullet, she said, hot, hot, hot. So I'm doing good.
Your woman loves you.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to the work, I think you want to go, what is it? I think it's a 155 at 185 pounds. Like most people would be like, oh, go to the 51. I would say go to the 55. I treat it more like a golden orca where you do like 4 to 6 centimeter downsize max.
Yeah.
Versus like a regular orca where you can go like 6 to 8 centimeters. So give the man a spin. Person below you gets a spin. Well, they have a super chat, so this makes it even easier. White ribbon of muscle cheese, spin it.
Okay. That was me. My hand slipped.
Oh, there
we small sticker.
You get a small sticker there, D-Lo. So that's really good. Oh,
What she got now?
What'd she say?
She says since she cut the mullet, she better get royalties for the mullet stickers.
I'll make her a t-shirt.
Okay,
Okay,
man, you get a t-shirt.
Okay, we got Snowboard B. What kind of board's fastest and best for border cross? Well, I mean, the big thing is like how you tune it more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, the tune in your wax choice day of is going to be more important as far as all-out speed is concerned. And I mean,
and
quality of
structure.
the base, yeah, and structure, but
Solid black. You want solid black,
Yeah.
no die cut, nothing, just straight flat black. So, you know, when you're looking at something like that, a board like the Berserker, or not the Berserker, the Peace Seeker really stands out for something like that. But you want that solid black base with a good deep structure in there.
This is when you start to get really nerdy, start looking at numbers. You want something that has a really high ratio of effective length to overall length to get as much base area as possible, but something that has a little bit more of an open side cut, I would say, just because you have the banks to turn. You don't need something with a really tight, aggressive side cut. So up in the banks, you want to be able to lean it over really far in order to be able to basically stay on line without it having to overdrive that turn to do so. So the Berserker actually is something that does come to mind for me for bank slalom, just because it has a more open side cut. Maybe Commissioner. I haven't ridden
because the aluminum monster just has more weight. That's my thinking on that. But yeah, you want something like that, something that doesn't. You want like a good radial side cut. You don't want added contact points that'll slow you down. You want full camber, or if you do cam rocker, it's got to be like more of an S camber with a micro rocker, but with way more camber. So like, to an extent, actually, the Super 8 Pro from Solomon is a good like board like that. But then, you know, it's you want something like that, something with preferably, if it does have 3D shaping, you want very minimal. So it just elevates, and you want it so that it's really on the front contact point, so it's elevated up, so that way it's not it's not digging in and slowing you down when you're flat basing. But when you roll it over, it takes you don't notice the effort, but then it's on edge and you're gripping and going in there. So the big thing is it's like base bevel, structure, wax for day of, which most of the time it's only going to last you 2-3 runs anyways, which is about what you're going to race. Anyways, so give the man a spin, sir. Oh, we passed it. Nerd. Okay, this one's funny because I've banned this man a few times, but he's back and he's throwing money at us, probably because he wants to make a skin suit out of Kevin. R.I.P. L-Stacker, R.I.P. Kevia Spilly. I noticed you unblocked L-Stacker. Would you ever consider unblocking me? I promise I'll be good. You put the fear of God in me. Also, hi, Kevin. I love your skin. I see you're still moisturizing. I'm going to let you decide. Do we ban him?
I don't know. I'm uncomfortable.
How uncomfortable? Are you uncomfortable enough that we have to have a talk with HR?
No. You don't have an HR.
Yeah, I do. She's in the other room taking a nap. Oh. She's an emotional support HR.
Nah, we'll let it fly. We're getting weird tonight.
Okay, but he doesn't get a spin.
No.
Okay, so we're up to Drew Gallagher again. I finally won a medium sticker pack. This spin is really just a glow. Finally got on my golden orca and ride switch, hardly better than a regular orca. And also finally rode 3BT and it sucks.
I mean, 3BT saying it sucks is entirely dependent on your opinion.
And which board you rode.
Yeah.
And what conditions.
Yeah. Can suck.
It can suck. Ice with one that's super pronounced is death, in my opinion. But like,
especially with old-fashioned TBT, back when it was still TBT. I feel like it was fine on ice. I never really had an issue with
old TBT.
Yeah,
dude, that shit would kill you.
Oh, I never had an issue with it.
No, I remember when I had a first year Goliath, and it was just like, but I like the Fun King because it's like more mellow, and it does what you want it to do, where you don't have the contact point digging in, but when you need that edge,
you just have to be like, for those of you that like TBT and occasionally have to ride ice on it, you just have to be really aggressive with your edge. That's just because, once you get it all the way up and you do have your entire edge contact in the snow again, then you have full edge contact and it's essentially cam rock up on edge. But you have to get it there. And it's the getting it there that can get sketchy. So as long as you're really aggressive getting onto your edge, then I don't know. I never had an issue with it.
Give the man a spin. He's trying to gloat. Right. Watch him win a snowboard.
Right.
Oh, just passed it. Come back. Person below gets a spin. That's our boy Dave Dixon. Give him a spin. All right. People got to be asking for spins. They ain't getting them.
Oh,
so close.
So close.
So close. Okay. Ew, no, you're begging for a board? Fuck off. Okay, we got Lloyd from Canada. I picked up a decent 2012-13 Forum Youngblood double dog. Were the Forum boards better or worse after Burton took over? They were better. Oh my God, Forum boards were trash for the longest time.
Yeah. What people don't realize is when like Chili Dog and Double Dog and all that started coming in, and that's when people became aware that Burton owned Forum, but they owned them for 6 years prior to that. So you think about some of the really
only 3, but
was it 3?
It was
longer than that. Because they thought it was 8 or 9 years, and once that stuff hit, it was only 2 years after, 2 or 3 after that.
I don't know, but
regardless, I feel like they owned them a lot longer than people realize. And when Forum was making some really solid stuff, it's when Burton owned them.
Yeah,
their die cuts were popping out when Burton didn't own them. So.
Oh, dude, I worked for a shop, and the year before I worked there, they had ordered 10 Forum boards, and 9 of them, the die cuts popped out on the showroom floor.
Yeah, you can still. I remember you've always said you can still find shots in the old videos of JP or Jeremy with duct tape on their base in order.
It's not duct tape. They took Forum stickers and lined their bases with it, and you can see it. They tried to make it look like that was the graphic, but it wasn't the graphic. And then there's God, what magazine? It might have been Future Snowboard magazine. I don't even know if I still have the issue, but they were doing an interview with but they were showing photos from Dogger's house, and they had 10 snowboards, all with different C clamps on them that were warranty boards that they were clamping and re-epoxying the die cuts back into the base. No, dude, Burton salvaged Forum. They would have.
They saved them for.
So give the man a spin. Spin again. Good spin. Good spin. Make your woman proud, Kevin.
Get up there. Come on. Oh.
You just no. Just
say it. Just squidge more.
You either go too far or not far enough.
We'll get it.
Okay, so we got Orion. Last try. Eat your pocket bacon. He got put in timeout for trolling a troll. It's okay.
Pocket bacon? Is that literally just bacon in your pocket, or is this something that I've not heard of?
Oh, so Crow and I kind of started cooking bacon and keeping it in our pockets in little plastic bags, and we would roll around the park and eat pocket bacon. And it kind of became a thing, and then I started eating pocket bacon on the show.
Oh, okay.
And so
it is bacon.
It is real bacon, and you can eat it, but you keep it in your pocket.
Scared for a minute.
No, this is a real thing.
Okay.
So get pocket bacon.
Right.
I was gonna make you some. Where the fuck were you going with that one, Kevin? You went too far. Oh, well, Ian, it's okay. I think you won something on here. I gotta look back. Jesus, I got so many. I got pages of notes back here. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll just add a medium to that on top of the other ones you have. But okay, let's see. We got Brian P. Makes me so happy to see you two back together. People keep saying.
Well, now I'm uncomfortable again.
People keep saying they miss the podcast, but I don't miss doing the podcast.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work for not a lot of return.
Yeah.
Live streaming's way better.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
There's never. It's never.
Nothing's ever really gone with Angry. It just might disappear for a decade.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, we had Ask a Black Snowboarder. I don't know where he is, but he'll come back eventually. Probably. Hopefully.
Oh, slipped again. You get a weak spin. Sorry. But you got a small sticker pack out of it.
That was the weakest spin.
I don't even know. They didn't even make it all the way around, did it?
Oh my God. I thought my grip strength was bad, but Jesus Christ, Kevin.
It slipped. I think you greased some of those pins.
What? No. Okay, we got Lou Monte looking for a spin, saying stay angry.
Okay. You lose.
Also, I figured out for next year's live stream your haircut, the RoboCop.
What is the RoboCop?
You don't know the RoboCop?
I do not.
Okay, so Bruce turned me on to this one. Okay. So when he had new people working for him up in Alaska this summer, so when they would screw up, they have to get a RoboCop haircut. So you shave the front and top of the head, but you leave the back and everything. So when you're wearing a hat, it looks normal, but then you take it off and it's just like the Peter Weller, like RoboCop, where it's just the front of your head showing. So
I don't think the lady is going to go for that.
Ashley, I will give you $100 if you give him a RoboCop next year for Thanksgiving, so I have it for Black Friday. I'll give you $100. You and I can work this deal out. My birthday's coming too. I know we can talk about this. Okay. We got CJ Blah looking to spin me a shop local.
She says sold.
You're screwed. You're screwed. Your lady's giving you a RoboCop. Woo, person below gets a spin. So that goes to our boy Dun Livin. Give him the spin. Give him the spin. Just give him the spin. Oh, man. That's on spin again. Maybe we can make it. Maybe we can make it. Ooh. Big money. No big money. No big money.
Still in the zone. Not quite there.
I'm really not happy with you tonight. Your spinning skills are very appalling. Let's jump around. We're getting some stuff. Okay. Let's take this question from Herb Blitzen. Any suggestions for a resort board that could be fun for a 40-year-old to feel young again? Something that would be a great carver that could also handle the jumps. I'm thinking like the Ride Shadow Band.
Yeah.
That, like a directional twin, something just like that.
Something classic like that. Yeah, that's a good option. Coda Camber or even Shiloh.
Yeah.
Either one of those I feel like would be good.
Jones Mountain Twin.
Yeah. Jones Mountain. I mean, really any
indoor survival.
I was going to go Mercury.
Nah, indoor survival.
Yeah.
Mercury's got a kind of a wonkapotamus side cut these days.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, they added 4 millimeters to it because Arthur Longo wanted it that way, and it has never ridden the same since.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
Well, give Herb a spin. Shop local. Okay, so we got one from Jack Off Beat, and you'll love this one. It's a totally you question. Bigger tech spec nerd, Kevin or Jordan?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I don't know if I could honestly say which one of us is a bigger tech nerd. However, I have a larger breadth of knowledge than he does, just because he spent majority of his time riding Flow and Flow and Nightacker stuff. And I've ridden everything else. So I have probably a stronger understanding of the tech specs, but I think we both obsess over them equally. I mean, he was worried about like millimeters in like the tip width and like tail width, millimeters. And then it also took me like 9 months to design the relic. Because I was supposed to be called the War Orca. Yeah. I was just never satisfied. Because I always like get inspired to do something different and then something different and then something different. And I changed the tail shape at the very last minute. Because like, no, I don't like it anymore. I want to do something different. So yeah, we're equally big nerds. I would say that I'm probably I don't want to say more knowledgeable. I don't think that's quite fair, but yeah, you get my point.
Yeah. Give the man a spin.
You lose though. Sorry,
you lose. Yeah. Okay. This guy sucks. People think you have a skullet. Okay, we got one here from Shane Leahy. No relation to Mr. Leahy. Just grabbed a lobster stomper. How do they handle on the less than perfect conditions? Stay fat and angry. I don't know if I'm fat.
I don't know the stomper, but lobsters are still.
They're just rebranded.
Right?
Yeah, they're rebranded battalions. Some of them have a thinner core. Some of them have a thicker core. They move the carbon layups, and I haven't been on the stomper in 3 years.
What's it based on?
The stomp. I think it was the global warmer. So, which that had the double carbon strip on the outsides of the inserts, I believe, in there. So, and if I remember correctly, if you don't keep your knees bent, you're gonna fucking hate your life on that thing.
Yeah, I remember when I wrote the global. This was probably when it was introduced, so it may be totally different.
Was that back when we were living together?
I think it was after that, but so maybe it wasn't when it was introduced, but early on in its life for sure. Yeah, it's a soft board, so yeah,
Supers.
Okay. It's not ideal.
Keep your knees bent.
Conditions. Yeah, keep your knees bent. Be prepared to do the work.
Yeah. Give the man a spin, sir.
You lose.
You lose. Again. Okay. So this is a good question from Curtis 500. I'm looking to see the latest tech in snowboards. Is the outdoor retailer show worth going to? It's in Salt Lake this year. I mean, if you're a retailer, it's good to go. That's really what that show should be. But a lot of brands have pulled out of there. They're not doing anything anymore. If you're not working for a shop, you're not.
It's not open to the public.
It's not open to the public. And that's the thing. And if you're not like true media,
yeah.
The last time I tried to sign up for it, they wanted me to pay $1,000.
Yeah, it was like ridiculously.
And I just wrote back like, "Go fuck yourself." And they're like, "Well, you're not going to get into the on snow demo." And I was like, "The fuck I'm not." Literally walked in, and their one person that they had was like, "Excuse me, credentials?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't have any." And I just walked right through, and they were like, and I think Petey came out and was like, "He's fine." And then Belowski was sitting there like, "He's with me."
Yeah, I've had a rep grab me before too, like when I'm trying to get into the demo.
Yeah.
For the same situation. Like when I had a pass but didn't have credentials, and I just walked up and like, "Well, you have to have credentials," and I just kind of waved down her up. I'm like, "Yeah, let him in." I'm like,
yeah. So
but yeah, I mean,
the scene the next year is in the tech stuff. Like honestly, so first off, those shows. They have meetings with their retailers.
Yeah.
People are busy. You're going to get pawned off on some intern that doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Yeah,
or they're going to be hungover.
Yeah, you're not actually going to get any info. All you're going to be able to do is see graphics. That's basically all you're really going to get.
You're going to get a catalog, maybe. Because like no one's printing those anymore.
Like some brands will just have the catalog sitting out there, so you might be able to grab a bunch of catalogs, but that's going to be it. So at that point, all you're going to get is what's on the website.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything more in depth than that. And yeah, I mean,
I mean, realistically, you want to see the tech specs, wait till about June, and then 12 Board Shop or any of the shops in the Southern Hemisphere will have the whole spec sheets on their website. It's so much easier to just sit at your house and be like, "Oh, they've already put everything up." Sometimes they even do it in April and May. They update what's going on because they get the next year's stuff down in the Southern Hemisphere before us, and you can just literally go through any of those shops and see stuff. You can do that, and then there's like, there's a couple. There's Zuzupopo, which will have the catalog, and then there's Gorgoda or whatever it's called. That's the Japanese one. But yeah, those websites will have the next year's stuff, and then you don't have to deal with doing stuff. Like I said, those shows aren't open to the public, and even if they did open it to the public, could you imagine being a brand having to deal with the public and a retail?
It's such a. I mean, those guys are slamming through account after account. Like they don't have time to talk to public.
Yeah,
they barely have they like me, And I barely get time to talk to a lot of these guys, and sometimes I don't get a chance to talk to them at all. And that's when I would go there like 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And it'd be there the entire day and like swing back to certain brands and like just never get a chance to talk to
anyone. Yeah.
So yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Just wait for the websites to update. That's your honestly best.
Give the man option. A spin. Ooh. Oh, nope. Pick a random question. Let's see what we got here. No, let's see. Let's find one. I'm gonna let you take this one. It's from Tedward Edwards. What's the best snowboard and bindings for a budget build? What do you think?
I mean, this obviously is highly dependent on what you're trying to get out of it. So there's that.
Let's just go all mountain. Like, make it easy.
Yeah, classic all mountain.
What's your one choice? Your board binding. Just one choice.
The board that comes to mind is either ray gun or ray gun pop.
Okay.
Depending on whether you want flat or camber, depending on where you are. If you're East Coast somewhere,
so that's K2.
Camber, then yeah, grab that. Binding. I mean, it's really hard not to say K2 as well.
Honestly. Yeah, like slap an indie on it.
Yeah.
So
it's really hard not to say that.
So my take would be Warden.
Oh yeah,
Warden, and I would slap a K2 indie on it.
Yeah,
and I could ride that setup. Me, that someone that has ridden thousands of setups, I could ride that and be happy.
Yeah,
and I know that.
Yep.
So give the man a spin. Ollie them slow signs. Ollie them slow signs. Okay, I want to talk about this one just because I think this is really cool, and this is something that I touched on with one of my earliest top fives for 2022. But member Bezium's here is like, thanks for everything you guys do. I'm going to try to work with my local shop to give away a couple boards this year. So I said that I wanted to make giving back in snowboarding like more normal, and people have been like, you don't give back enough, and I'm like, the fuck, I got receipts for this shit. Like that stupid kid, Zach Mauser. Did you follow my Instagram the other night?
Yeah,
I went out. Yeah, that kid sucks dicks with his butthole. I thought it was funny the amount of Tahoe moms that were like, you can always stay at my house if you come to Tahoe. Like, what, you want me to come out there and punch that kid in the mouth? But I've got receipts for all this. Like, if you're going to give back, I think it's great. Like, the goal is to try to get you guys to start giving back and build. And then we just build a stronger community with people giving back. Like, so this is really cool to see someone going to do that. That's awesome. I think that's absolutely amazing. It's a really good thing to just see someone do that, give that back. I like seeing that stuff. Yeah, I do that. And, absolutely. Like my thing is I've gotten so much out of snowboarding that at this point, I just want to keep giving back because like, it just doesn't matter. Plus the other thing is I find it really funny that I only have about 29,000 subscribers on YouTube. With this, like, I have the smallest subscribership, but I have the most dedicated audience, I believe. And you look at these guys with 100, 200, 300, 500, like, where's Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp? Why isn't he giving anything out? TJ from Board Archive isn't giving anything out. Buckhouse isn't giving anything out. Those motherfuckers are the stingiest motherfuckers that never give anything back. And I love that every time that we grow this, people start calling them out and they just block them. They block them. And I was like, you motherfuckers are always talking about how much money you make and how you travel all over and all this shit. And you can't be asked.
Because you got nothing to give back to your viewers.
Nothing. You give nothing because you take and take and fucking take. And that's it. And I love that we have created this initiative in 2022 and we're taking it into 2023. And I can't wait to see where we can go through 2023 to 2024. I love seeing this because it's you guys that are helping build this community that we do have here. So it's really interesting. So give this man a spin and hopefully he hits. Come on, Kevin. Big money, big money, big money. We need a winner over here. Where are we going? Why are we picking a random question to give a spin?
That's not a snowboard.
Okay. We got one here from Ashley H. Are there actual differences between women's or men's boards? I'm a girl shredder, 140 pounds, 5'6", and I have 2 feet. Just 2 feet.
Sometimes.
Depends
on the brand. So sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I mean, unisex is really hot right now.
Yeah, unisex is very hot right now. And at 140 pounds, 5'6", you could ride small men's boards just fine.
Yeah, that 52-ish range, 52,
occasionally 54. What you'll get is brands that actually do true female designs. Ride does, K2 does,
Burton does.
Yeah, Burton does.
Capita does.
What they do usually is they're going to give you a little bit softer core between the feet. Women tend to foot steer more than guys, just biomechanics. We tend to drive more through the board through our core.
It's also
something
where
softer torsionally is just a little easier for women to drive.
It's also where they carry their weight on their hips. So if you notice, the flex points tend to be right outside the insert packs as well. So
now, does that make a life of difference? No. So I would say if there's something you're after and you're like, oh, but there's no women's equivalent, if they make a small enough size for your weight, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's like the Zero comes to mind from Ride because Jill Perkins even has a pro model. And I almost bought one. And everyone's like, you're going to go buy a girl's pro model? And I was like, well, it's unisex.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hot thing right now. There's a bunch of brands next year that are going even heavier on it. I know.
Yeah, well, then you got stuff like the Solomon Abstract, which is the worst fucking thing I rode this year.
I think the Burton Good Company is the same situation. So
yeah. So okay, well, give her a spin. Big money, big money, big money.
You lose.
Oof. Okay, so I like this one because it's a Kevin question only. It's from My Knees Are Cheese. Kevin, what's the worst board you ever tried to carve? And we filmed this.
Yes, we did. There are two answers that come to mind. One of them is slightly worse than the other because it wasn't supposed to be. The two answers are the LibTech banana hammock. That board is not supposed to be ridden on groomers and it literally says don't ride it on it. So I expect
there's a guy at A Basin that rides that on groomer days. He is the sketchiest looking motherfucker I've ever seen.
The worst was, remind me the brand?
Soul Stick
Pocket Rocket. That board tried to kill me. If you're curious, you can go and watch it happen. Can Kevin carve it? The Soul Stick Pocket Rocket. And the very first turn I tried to make on that board, right off a pally chair, almost sent me into the fence off a cliff.
Yeah, he would have died. So when I wrote it, because I had to review the fucking piece of shit. And the best part is the guy that owns the company is on this, it's been 3 years, something like that. He's still pissed off and he's like, he doesn't know how to snowboard. He doesn't do this because James from the Good Ride gave it a good review because it steers off the back foot like everything he rides because the guy's a fucking Mongol.
I designed the Nerd Relic to steer off of the back foot. I know what that's supposed to feel like, and that was not it.
No. So I rode that thing, and the first lap I did, I took it up Super B at Copper, and I took that all the way over past Timberline and then back down to Central, that 2-mile lap I do through the goat path. And I had to throw my weight into every turn and pray to God that it would engage. It was the shit. And you remember the top sheet?
You had to pray to it that it engaged, and you had to pray that it was going to disengage when you wanted to switch edges. That was my issue.
Yeah, you throw your weight into it.
Out of the turn.
You'd throw your weight into it, and then you basically had to jump off your toe like you were doing a backside 180 and slam it flat and then slam it back onto the heel. Worst fucking board. And do you remember how shitty the top sheet was on that? Like how many dimples it had? Like at one point, it looked like there were gummy worms pressed, like epoxy gummy worms were stuck in the cassette when it was pressed. That board was the
acne.
Acne is an understatement. That thing had fucking leprosy, or not even leprosy, dude. That thing looked like those people that have they have that viral infection with the warts that make them look like trees. That's what it looked like on the top sheet. It was so bad. Literal worst thing. Now, the real question I know someone's going to ask, are we bringing back Kevin Carpet?
Well, funny you ask, because after the story about that board trying to kill me, the lady says, no. It is canceled permanently, effective immediately. Sorry.
So Ashley
says no.
Yeah. Ashley says no.
Small stickers.
Stall sticker back for Mr. Cheese. Mr. Cheese. Oh, this pen's dying on me. Yeah, so anyone that's won stuff, all you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and we're going to get that mailed out to you. Okay. Somebody's triggered by this photo of Jared Hattie's teeth. You're triggered by this? If you're missing teeth, get over it. I'm not getting rid of this. I won this in a prize.
You can get your teeth replaced.
You can. Jared Hattie did.
Yeah.
So, all right. You don't get a spin either. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we got Bryson Hubert, bent metal drive plates. I've got the transfers, and I'm curious how noticeable it would be to change the plates. So the plates. So going from the transfer, your next option would be you either go Core Pro or Solution, realistically, to go in terms of stiffness. And then if you went down, you'd be looking at like the joint.
Yep.
And what you're really going to notice when you go up, the Core Pro it's going to be a marginal difference between that and the transfer. But when you go to the Solution with that carbon infused one, it's just like boom, toe edge, bam, heel edge, boom, toe edge. Just the power dynamic in there. And then when you go to one that's softer, when you push into it, there's going to be more flex in it. Is it going to be the most noticeable thing? No. Is it consistently noticeable? Yes, to a point. You've played around with.
Yeah, I rode the transfers with the joint flip beds, the transfer flip beds, obviously, and the Solution flip beds because I was curious what they were actually going to do to the binding. And I would agree, it does make it a little bit quicker edge to edge. But the biggest thing that I noticed, and I actually really liked the combo of the transfer with the Solution flip beds, was how smooth it felt. Because the carbon, I felt like with it being laminated and not just a piece of carbon, since they're actually like sandwich construction, they rode really smooth. And that's what I really liked out of it, is it felt like it soaked up vibrations a little bit more, despite what carbon usually does. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed the combo of the transfer with the Solution drive plates, with the carbon drive plates. So yeah.
Give the man a spin. Oh, Bryson. Small sticker for Mr. Hubert. So this is a funny super chat from Jason. Glad you had the same experience I had on the banana hammock. I was questioning all my life choices after the powder got tracked out, and I had to ride the groomers. I'm pretty sure this is the same Jason that actually donated that. So that was you literally
I wrote his.
Yeah. So
that board was scary.
Yeah.
It took a I don't think people understand the amount of skill it takes to get down the hill on that board on hardback. It was hard to do.
Saucer sled
multiple times.
You fell like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Hard falls too.
Yeah, the one when you tried to loop the carve, and I was like, Kevin's dead.
Yeah,
just
exploded.
Yeah, so
no injuries.
No injuries.
I fell.
Well, the good thing with Kevin Carver was we kept it very.
Yeah,
very
the terrain was relatively mellow. The only sketchy part was that first turn on the pocket rocket, and that's just because that was so unexpected.
And I had warned him too. I was like, "Yo, this thing's a turd."
Yeah.
Like literally one of the worst boards.
I've just never had a board that hard to get out of a turn with ever. I've ridden some bad boards, but man, yeah. So yeah, feel ya. Terrifying on hardback.
I still can't get over that. There's literally a guy at A Basin that I see him riding that thing.
Oh, you were so close.
I was so close. I was trying to get on there. Jason, you won yourself a jumbo sticker pack. If you want it, you know how to claim it. Just email me info@angrysnowboard. All right. So let's go through. We need to get rid of something here. Let's find a good question, and we'll Rochambeau to see if we give away the person a snowboard, because that's how we roll.
Give something away.
This is a funny one. Don't let Averin talk to your girl unless you want to lose her. That is a crock of shit. Ashley's never.
Not a concern.
Not a concern. Dude, I am fucking kryptonite to women. Like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to steal your girl. No woman wants me. No woman can handle it. The only woman in my life is in the other room, and she's a 4-legged bitch. Literally. Let's see. That's too easy of a question. Where were we? That's a big question. Okay, let's find something. Yeah. I'm going to take this question really quick from Adam Finley. Have you had a chance to see Tommy Bennett's goggles? I've seen the prototypes. I've held the prototypes. I've played with the prototypes. He and I are supposed to sit down. I'm supposed to go over them again one more time with him in the next week. Like, randomly, people think Tommy B and I hate each other, but we had a good chat at the start of last season. We ended up riding a lot last year. So he and I kind of hang out now. It's kind of weird. Yeah, there's that. But I think his lenses are Carl Zeiss lens. So
okay, cool. And at that point, you're pretty much gonna be good.
Yeah, you got good optical quality, and that was the big thing. Yeah. So okay. I want to take this question before we rush it. So this is from Edwin Wilson. Located in Japan and get most of my knowledge from U.S. creators. Been following local snowboarders recently, and they suggest twisting your knees inward to engage your board. Is this really a thing? Yes.
Absolutely.
It's called center flexing. So you push your knees in, you go like knock knee, or you drive your back knee in while you're pushing on the out one. I do this all the time when I carve. So you drive it in, and you can engage from inside while disengaging your front foot. So you change basically the effective edge of the board and how you're angling it, and you're steering from inside through the tail of the board. So it changes the whole thing. The Japanese have a very unique style, mainly because of their stand, way different, and what they're doing with the way I ride. For me, because it's about that last snap of power out of the carve, because usually I'm going to pop off something, so I want to lay it over, get the snap out, come back, flat base it, then snap. And that's how I do it. But yes, center flexing a board is completely natural and normal if you know what you're doing. There's a lot of people that when you bring this up, especially in the US, they just glaze over, because let's be honest, a lot of people in the US do not know how to fucking carve. They do not know how to turn. They know how to skid. They're really good at skidding. And they'll be like, I'm carving. And I was like, the fuck you are.
Generally speaking, the further you tip your board over, essentially, the further you're getting into the middle of your side cut, right? So what center flexing the board does is it allows you to get into the center part of your side cut without having to tip your board all the way over to get to it from the natural path that you would. So like we're talking about, when you're pushing through the turn, you're coming through the apex by driving your back knee down into the board to push down into the middle part of the side cut. You can accelerate out of the apex of the turn. So that's where that comes from. Euro carving is going to be a lot more popular. The way they do it in the more Japanese style turning is when they're driving through the knee, they're also leaning back into the back foot at the same time. And that it's hard to explain because their boards are totally different, realistically, despite what few numbers that they put on their stuff make it look like. Their boards ride completely different than like Western style stuff. It's just the nature of everything. Their entire snowboard design philosophy evolved completely different than the West. So yeah, just watch them. It's their stance. Like you said, they're all riding double posing. They're all riding pretty narrow. So that's got a lot to do with it too. But and part of it for them is when they're driving their back leg in, it's to get their leg out of the way because they're laying all the way over. And so if they're
laying all the way over, and they're also like a 17-inch stance.
Right. So a lot of it is driving the back knee in so that they can tuck it in. So it's out of the way in a carve so your knee doesn't hit the snow on the toe side. That's a lot of it. But yeah, so generally speaking, regular style snowboards, it's about getting into the middle part of the side cut.
Yeah. So
that's a short answer.
So there you go, Edwin. Hopefully that answers that for you. Sorry if we're missing stuff. We're kind of jumping all over the place, and you lose. So I want to talk about this PSA from our boy Tommy K. I carve mountains like a carved turkey, sloppy, bone chattering, and halfway through I get tired and just want to nap.
Accurate.
That could kind of sum up a lot of people in the United States.
Yeah.
Could sum up a couple people on YouTube that give tutorials and try to tell people about snowboarding too. Yeah. So we're gonna take this one from our girl Sam Walsh. I'm sold on the Ride Berserker. I'm 130 pounds, currently on the Solomon Assassin 150, looking for something more damp that can charge but still make fast turns in the trees. How long should I go? 53 or 56? I'm saying 53.
53 for sure.
Yeah.
That's got a really open side cut to it. So if you want it to be quick, you need to keep it small.
Yeah, Ed, that's exactly it. Like if you're getting to that bigger one, you're going to be more swooping on that. So you want to get that down to the 56. Realistically, though, if you want something more damp than your Assassin, but more nimble, you should probably actually look at the K2 Passport instead.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably more what you would actually really like. I think it's going to give you the dampness you want, but torsionally it's going to have that flex in there. So before you fully settle into the Berserker, I would look at the Passport for sure.
Yep.
Where we go? Oh. Drink
Big
Malort. Oh. Did you see what happened when I gave Eli a Malort? He was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, you'll see." And he was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth." He drank one, and then Thunder Cheeks got one, and was like, the best part was he was reaching in the bag for the shooters, and he's like, before he pulled it out, he's like, "This is fucking Malort," and he's like, "And it's Malort," and I was like, "Dude, how the hell did you pull one of the 5 shots of Malort out of 100 in there?" It was awful. Let's see. We're catching up on some stuff here. Let's see. We're gonna okay. We'll Rochambeau on this one for Ian. What's the craziest thing you've seen on the mountain? What's your story? I got a few, but what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
I don't know. I don't feel like I get lucky like you do.
For some reason, I see it
you're
all.
You're a magnet for the nonsense.
Okay, so I got 3 that are totally standout. Naked skier guy eating shit and getting ice rash on his dick when I was about 16 years old. Like, I'm coming, this was when I was in New York. I was still in high school. I'm coming down Mardi Gras. It's the end of the season at Holiday Valley. Pink flash goes past me. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Butt-ass naked dude in ski boots that were on skis, rear entry ski boots, ejects because he hit a slush puddle into a frozen thing, slides, ice rash all over his dick and balls everywhere, just bleeding. He's crying, he's drunk and all freaked out, and I'm just like, yeah, sucks to suck. So there was that one. The 2 water buffalo bikers fucking off the side of the chairlift at Holiday Valley. That one was amazing. We're all in the chairlift, and I look over and I was like, the hell is that? Is that like a bear over there or something? And we're looking at big old burly ass biker with his ass hanging out, just humping his lady in the trees, and she's just going for it. And then there was the day Crazy Legs exploded. This one, I watched a kid hit a 50-foot jump and overshoot it by about 40 feet. Do the running man in his skis, screaming. He impacted tibia and fibia, snapped, femur snapped. He broke his pelvis, punctured lung, couple ribs, shattered jaw, broken clavicle. He was awake, screaming, and we're all like on the chairlift, yelling from chair to chair to get back to the bottom lifty to get him. He had to be flight for life. That was my senior year of high school. Like I have seen some real serious shit. Like the year at A Basin when the this little girl, is before they put in Black Mountain Express, so when it was the old triple chair. The little girl had the restraint bar down, slipped underneath it, and just fell. And it was right in front of me. I watched it. She hit, and her legs just went snap, just gone. Broke both of her legs, snapped the femurs and the tibias on that. Another one was Holiday Valley. One of my friends was a snowboard instructor, and she was taking a little kid up the beginner hill chair, which damn thing only goes like 150 feet up. Kid was so small, slipped under the restraint bar, and the helmet was the only thing. They had this big ass Leadham helmet, got stuck between the restraint bar and the seat. The kid was choking itself and dying. Geez. No one knew what to do. And because the kid was riding, because it was a 2-chair, the kid was riding alone. So watch that kid. So that one was really interesting. Like, it's weird, like the shit that I see. I'm just like, did that just happen? I'm like, okay, that did just happen. So anyways, okay. If I win, he doesn't get it. If you win, he gets it.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hey.
Okay, so
wait, what does that mean?
He just won the.
Oh, he just won.
He won the Signal Womp Eater.
Hey!
All right, dude, Ian, you won yourself a snowboard because we needed to get rid of some shit around here because the wheel wasn't hitting. So, That's one less snowboard we need to do. So that's good. We got rid of that womp eater. By the way, I did not like that thing. Also, I think I hit my hand too hard.
I was hitting really hard, and I just realized I'm like, why was I doing that?
I don't know. We didn't win anything out of this.
I know.
This is bullshit. So all these people are getting all butthurt about shit. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Black Friday. Calm the fuck down. So, all right. That really hurt.
I know.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see. Let's scroll around, see what we find. Here's one. Okay. So this goes back to our discussion earlier in this about Evil, but it comes from Michael Hartman. What do you think of the Chamonix lineup now that they have revamped their line? You guys did a podcast about them and it didn't have anything good to say. I mean, I still don't think it's the greatest shit on earth if you looked at the janky ass boots and bindings. Board wise, dude, it's so hit or miss. Every time I see one in the wild, it's like, if it's a POW shape, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of sick. And then sometimes I look at like the all mountain shape and I'm like, why does that look like asshole? It's so weird. It's always going to be store brand. It's going to be price point. And like the thing with the house is that they cut corners on stuff with their own thing. Like they're moving in volume. So that's kind of where they are. So yeah. It's hit or miss. Like Pete was supposed to send me like the Shemin and I think like 2 other models to ride. Should probably just reach out to him and be like, look, just send me shit.
Yeah.
I'll ride it. But yeah, it's hit or miss on that. Like, am I overly stoked on it? No, not really. I'm just sort of like, it's fucking there. But you know, I mean,
I'm sure it'll get some people on snowboarding. So
it does. Like for the price, like I've seen more of it, and I'm like, okay, those are like price conscious people. I mean, that's fine. Like I get it. You're cutting that corner. Would I ride their boot and binding? Oh, fuck. Ooh. Goggles are just going to be open mold, like Amazon
generic
style.
stuff,
yeah. So, you know, it's not anything special. Where we going? All right, sir, you won yourself a small sticker pack. So, all right. So this is one coming in from Shane Schmaltz for you. Any other nerd boards in R&D or plans soon?
Soon's a strong word. We're certainly looking to fill out the line as far as sizes go, just between the Relic and the Superposition at the moment. That's kind of our key focus. We have had some discussions about a more generic, I don't want to say generic, nothing we do is going to be generic, but
an all mountain board
or an all mountain board. Yeah, something
more
that's
traditional,
a little bit
shape.
more everyday.
Yeah.
You know, the Relic is pretty specific design for what it is for. Volume shifted, that fun stuff. The Superposition is definitely more your all mountain free ride card. So something that, you know, either one of us could just grab on a regular resort day to just have fun, rip around, ride park, do whatever, which you can do on either one of those boards, but something that's better built for it. So that might be something that we look at for 23-24, but we haven't officially decided yet. Luckily, we have a really good relationship with our factory that we can be a little bit more
last minute.
Yeah, a little bit more last minute with our design. So we'll probably have to make that decision come like January, February if we want to do that. But right now we're just looking to fill sizes in.
Yeah, I think Jordan was saying that he was 54 Superposition coming next year. And
we might do a big boy Superposition as well. And then maybe a smaller Relic. Those are kind of the things we're looking at the moment.
Yeah, because everything just as he said today while we were live streaming, he was like, yeah, like every time Angry does something, we just sell more shit. So then we're like, well, do we just add another one? And then we add another one, and then he says something, and then we just sell more. And it's just like, what do we do? And I was like, and I've been trying to tell him, like, look, dude, you got to send this shit to other people to ride. Like, I can't be the only one with it. But he's like, but you're like my brother. And I was like, I get that, but you got to send it to other people. Yeah. So anyway, it's funny. This is funny, like where things are. So All right, Shane, got yourself a medium sticker pack there.
And last comment, we're certainly not in any hurry. we realize that we're going to be more sustainable if we grow small.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of
we're not in a rush.
The bigger thing is to be like smart. So, okay. Okay, so this is a Kevin question from Brandon Sawada. Kevin, what is your current setup as your daily drivers? So what do you got?
Well, it's got to start off with the nerd stuff, clearly. So I ride Vices on the Relic, and I ride DODs on the Superposition. If I'm not riding nerd stuff, which isn't very common anymore, but I still do ride my Zoid that has free ballers on it. So good luck finding either one of those at this point. I ride the original Rome Ravine, but the Syndicate version, which is slightly softer even than the original Ravine. So it's pretty soft, and that also has free ballers on it. And then I've got a DC Super Natant with some Flow NX2 TMs. That's kind of my quiver, depending on what I'm feeling like that day.
Fuck, you got more than me, man.
I know. I'm a board whore. You know this.
This is true.
Yes.
I'm like, I clapped everything out last year, except for my party mod, which may have clapped out the start of this season. I think I might have broke the tail the other day. Did I tell you I tacoed a rail? I bodied myself.
I think I did hear you talking about that on the stream.
Yeah, I bodied myself pretty hard. Yeah. I may have cracked the tail a little bit. I'm down to like one board. I'm just like, I got my shadow band.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what Kevin's riding. Well, there you go, Brandon. You got yourself a small sticker pack. You know what to do. So you know how to claim that. Okay. Let's see where we're all over the place. Feel like we're catching up, or I say we're catching up, and then I scroll down. I'm like, oh fuck, there's like 70 things we missed. Okay, we got one here from Anthony Hawking. Spin for shoulder rehab. Saw Gimbal God's video with the Camel 2 and seemed to like it. Did you review it this year? Also, how do I get a girlfriend? So I didn't review the Camel 2 because nothing changed in it, but I do love that board. Like, have you ridden that one?
I have.
Yeah, that one's like the 3BT in that actually is good enough to grip on it. Ice.
It carves really well.
Yeah, it's got power where you want it. That's just a really, really good board. As far as how to get a girlfriend, I mean, there's seeking arrangement. There's a war going on in the Ukraine. In case you didn't know it, there's a lot of women that are looking for sugar daddies.
Yeah, they're looking to get to the U.S.
Yes, you can provide a green card.
90-day fiance.
90-day fiance.
Here we come.
You watch all that reality shit.
Yeah, I do.
Love is Blind.
We watched the first season. We tried to watch the second one, but it wasn't very good. So we didn't get into that one.
Woof. The other thing that I always tell everyone is frozen food section. You find a girl in the frozen food section, and if you know how to cook, you got a winner there. Because if she doesn't know how to cook, you just
that's actually decent advice. I don't have any good advice because I don't know how I did it. I got lucky. Basketball. It's like the locker room scene in basketball. Elephant trunk down there. That's what it is. Sure. Ollie slow signs.
Ollie slow signs, people. Ollie slow signs. Okay. Where were we? Let's see. Let's take some questions. Oh, this is a shameless plug for me from OpFreakX. Where can you get that side slipping poster? Thanks for the late stream. So there's actually a link down in the description for merchandise. It is on angrysnowboarderstore.com. The posters are $30. They're not the framed ones. They're just the rolled tubed ones. You'll have to get that framed yourself. I'm working on getting some new Snow Carney Kids stuff coming out. But there is new hoodies, t-shirts, and stickers on the store right now for anyone that wants actual merchandise. So. Oh, bastard. You went to the Malort.
Drink Malort.
Drink Malort. All the Malort. Ugh. People gotta be putting time out. Okay. Let's see. I love telling horror stories at Holiday Valley, and then people are like, I go to Holiday Valley, I've never seen this. And I'm like, you also probably don't know about the secret tunnels under the base area that can get you around, or the codes to get in. I think they haven't changed the code since I worked there. That's been like 25 years. Henry DeGenery, thoughts on Union STR bindings? Have them and hate them, but everyone tells me Union is the best.
I mean, it says stronger on the box, but the STR last year was our most warranted binding with frame breaks. When was the last time your frame broke? There you go.
I mean, it's hit or miss on that one. I mean, it's their lowest end binding.
I think the Flight Pros are cheaper than STRs.
Oh, maybe they are, but still, it's like
it's down there.
Yeah, it's down there. You know.
But yeah, I mean, there's really no excuse for frame breaking, really, ever. So.
Yeah, it's not surprised. It's always hit or miss with them. Did you ever notice, like, the ones that have problems, then they tweak one thing and it never has problems again?
Yeah.
Shop local, people. Shop local.
That way, if you break your STRs, you can get them warranted.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Let's see. Okay, we got one here from Adam Lieberman. How old is too old to start getting into jumps for the first time? Late 30s, got into boarding later, and I always seem to lose my nerve if I catch any amount of air. I mean, when I used to sponsor Woodward for Angry back in the day and do the adult camp, we had a guy, Gary, who was the oldest camper that came in at 56. And that dude fucking said it. He was like, he went in a week's time from hitting the small jump to hitting the bigger jump that they had, hit every rail and box. That dude was a goddamn beast. It's all about, like, if you can easy progress and do it, you can get into it. It's just most people see it and they're like, I'm going to go to the biggest jump there is. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're going to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what you really want to do is hit what they call the tortoise shell jump. So the lip is all part of the roller as one. So you're really not like popping. It doesn't have the cutoff on the backside with the deck and stuff. I mean, Kevin's a huge jumper. Huge.
If anybody knows how to knuckle a jump, it's me.
If there is a knuckle, Kevin will find it.
I don't know why.
He will bounce. I literally watched him straight line into a jump with a tailwind and somehow hit the knuckle. I was like, he's going to make it to the sweet spot. It was like he went over the knuckle and just stopped and went and fell right on it. It was absolutely amazing.
I don't know why.
It was, but
third, you put me in any natural terrain and I don't have any issues clearing anything.
Nope.
But yeah, the second I get into a park jump, I don't know what I'm
doing. Kevin just
there was a good like one season where I finally like figured jumps out. I think it was actually the year I moved in with you.
Yeah.
So the first year I was in Summit.
Probably because I forced you to.
Yeah, all I did was ride park.
Like, well, there's no fresh snow. Let's go ride park again today. Do I have to? Yes.
So I eventually did figure out how to send jumps. But then I stopped doing it, so now I don't know how again. So I'll hit baby jumps, but that's about it.
It's okay. Evidently, I can't ride park. I taco rails.
Yeah, I mean, all I really do is carve now, so.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
There isn't. But yeah, getting into it, like if depending where you're at, like if you have a Woodward progression park, I think those are really good.
Yeah.
And if you can,
the build of the park is going to be huge because if you have really crappy jumps, it makes it that much harder to try.
Yeah, a crappy jump will just fucking ruin your confidence left and right. Like, I mean, I grew up snowboarding in the 90s where sometimes they were backflip booters and sometimes they were loading dock launch ramps of death. It just, you never knew what you were going to get. And it would just send you off into something somewhere and you'd be like, holy shit, this is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely ever. And it was, it just was not fun to say the least. It would just utterly destroy you and stuff. But you want to ease into everything. And if you do it, like, you need good balance. You need good spatial awareness. Spatial awareness will help with air awareness. And when you have that, like, you know, like we used to have what we called like different arm flailings. We used to call different things. So like, you got the windmill where you're like this. Then I was really good at what we called the churning butter. So this arm would be like this, and I'd be like doing that. Then you got the prairie dog where you go like this. If you're really good, you got the power windows where you just stick your arm out and you're just like, and you put them down and stuff. But yeah, the air awareness, the more you do it, the more you will become comfortable with it, and it becomes easier to do it. It's not hard to learn freestyle at an older age. No. It's just understanding that you need to take the logical progressions, and so many people don't build the fundamentals, so they just want to go from one right into the whole thing. Like I'll be sitting at the top of Central Park at Copper on the medium jump line, just watching some of my friends drop. Like I don't even hit those jumps anymore because it hurts my knees because I have no cartilage. And I'll watch someone roll in. They'll blow past all of us at the top of the drop, stomp halfway between the top of the drop and the jump, look around, drop, and fucking point it in, speed check at the last minute on the lip, pop. Then they like ollie instead of letting the lip throw them, land on the deck, bounce, butt check, slide, and be like, and then do the same thing into jumps 2 and 3. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, there's a whole series of smaller jumps over in Dad Park that you should be hitting because this is too much jump for you.
And then take care of your body.
Yeah.
That'll help a lot. Because then if you do wreck, which you will, it's not going to be as hard on you.
I mean, I bodied that fucking rail this week, and in all honesty, other than the fact that I've been riding with like a pinched nerve in my shoulder and my neck, and so like my arm was going numb, like where I hit the rail with my legs because I work out enough, I was just like, I got up and was like, I have a tiny bruise. I actually went to the gym the next day and did an hour leg set.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was just fine. So if you take care of yourself and you do it, if you're one of these guys that sits on the couch all off season and then thinks you're just going to go out and send it, you're going to hurt yourself. Yeah. So.
Medium sticker pack.
All right. Adam Lieberman. Win yourself a medium sticker pack. So many sticker packs today. So many. I'm going to run out of stickers. It's going to be great. I spent so much money on stickers last month. I was like, I'll just buy 4,500 units of stickers. Like, sure, fine, whatever. So, okay. Let's see. All right, so we got Jason. I'm about to go chase deep pow. Problem, I got fatter. At 200 pounds, do I need to step up to a 55, 57 lumberjack, or will I not go full Winnie the Pooh on the 52? I mean, I'm 200 pounds, and the 52 lumberjack is my board. I ride it just fine. Just understand, like you're on that lumberjack with that rocker. When you start to get heavier, if you come down and you contortionally twist the board more. But the other thing is if you're a little more forward heavy and you start going, you have more momentum with you. But you can totally get away at 200 pounds on the 52. Like that's a no questions asked. You haven't ridden the new lumberjack, have you?
No, not anyone.
Yeah. Nerd. So, okay. Let's see. Where are we? We got Kez. Just picked up a cap to Space Model Fantasy thanks to Avern's advice. Off season here in Oz. Thinking of a Japan trip. Will this board be okay, or do I need a dedicated power board? And if so, any suggestion? I mean,
you're on a soft twin.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work. Realistically, what I would do is when you get to Japan, just go hire something. Save your money.
Yeah.
Like that's the best thing. Like that way you can go over. So if any of I haven't been to Japan and I don't know if the shops are like how they are here in the US, but if you find a good shop, they'll like set you up with the demo for the day. And if you don't like it, you can come back and just swap it out. And if they're in the base area, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like Powder Tools is really good for that. You can do it at Gravity, stuff like that. Like any base shop will let you do that. But at that point, yeah, I I would just take your boot and bindings and hire a deck. It makes it so much easier for
Definitely.
you. So much easier for you. Spin again. We're going hard. There we go. Win yourself a small sticker pack. All right. So, let's see what else we got here. Oh God, you know this guy's just been fucking annoying me all day. You're just gone. Goodbye. So that's how I'm dealing with things now. Okay. Okay, Susan Jensen, waxing a 3D base. I'm curious if there's anything I should be aware of while doing it. Scraping sucks.
Yeah, scraping
because you don't get a straight scrape on it. So like 3BT is a little easier because you got more straight angles. But if you're looking at like a spoon tech board from Jones, you really don't. You're gonna get like thinner strips, so you're gonna do more scraping on it. Otherwise, it's the same thing as a regular snowboard.
Yeah, there's nothing really to worry about as far as waxing it. Now, if you're going to get it tuned, yes, and you want to make sure you go to a shop that understands how to tune a 3D base. It's not cut and dry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Oh. Well, Suzanne, you won yourself a medium sticker pack. So, what do you think, Kev? What should we do next? Should we give a board away?
Yeah, let's give a board away.
All right, let's give a board. What do we want to give away? What do you think, Kev?
I
don't know. It's a lot of powder boards. Maybe I'll hold off and do a whole powder board special once the season starts rolling around.
What about a Sierra? That's not really a full-blown powder board, is it?
Which one?
Sierra. Are you giving that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna give that away, but I was kind of holding out. I said I was gonna give that out somewhere else. I don't know. You wanna say? I mean, let's see. That's 1, 2, 3.
What about the word?
I think I've got an idea with that one. So, you want to give away an Air Blaster hoodie?
Sure.
All right, it's down there. You want to pull that out? We'll give it away for the second time today because I took it away from someone being an asshole earlier. Because I'm a dick.
Boom.
Boom. Air Blaster.
It says Air Blaster on it.
Air Blaster.
And it's a hoodie.
What size is this? I can't even remember. I bought this thing so long ago.
Large, extra large?
It's a large.
Large.
70% cotton, 30% polyester.
Yo.
Yeah. So let's find something.
Yeah. We'll have to get back to that one here in a minute.
Let's see what we got here. The fuck? You see this? Where can I get size 20 snowboard boots? Think Ride. The
Bigfoot might come that big.
Sasquatch comes in a 16 and up. I think it's a 16 to a 19.
The hard thing is going to be bindings, honestly. Boards, you can find something custom. That's honestly not that hard. But bindings.
Boot even. I don't think anyone makes anything that big. Know. Size 20? Fuck, man. I think you're going to have to go to one of those custom order, like off Alibaba Express.
Yeah.
Like that's the only one. Ugh. So.
Anyways,
I don't know. But I do love this. People are talking about the Air Blaster leg bag.
Oh, man.
Vintage!
I remember wanting a leg bag so bad. Never got one.
So let's see. Yeah. So let's see. Size 20. Good luck. I don't think they make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
There was somebody that asked about a black and yellow Rockstar board from Signal. I made it. So that's the story. You wanted to know what the story was. It's a park.
That's a single park.
It's a single park camber.
That was back
with
when they
the
still...
heavy top sheet because we had to use that to print their whatever they wanted on it, and I literally made it for you. So there you go.
Yeah,
with my own hands.
With his own hands. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see. That guy sucks. This is a funny question from Jason Robertson. Aaron, not complaining, but why is Montana not very popular for snow like Wyoming, Utah, Colorado? You know how fucking hard it is to get to Montana? That's the problem. There's literally like you land and sometimes you're just like, there's nothing there. It's a harder area to get to. Yes, Bozeman is growing and all that. It is a harder area to get to. Literally that, like Wyoming used to be harder until they put the airport in. Once they put the airport in, everything changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that
logistics.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. How do we want to give this away?
I don't know.
Me either.
What other stuff have we done? We did Rochambeau.
Mm-hmm. Should we just ask your girlfriend to pick someone at random from the chat that gets this?
We could do that.
Okay, Ashley, just pick a name in the chat and they're getting a hoodie.
Pick a name. I know you're still listening because you just said my land in reference to Montana.
My land.
So pick a random person. This is on you. And we got our people already saying, Ashley, hook me up.
Yeah.
So who's going to get a hoodie?
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Yeah, Ashley, just pick a name and they can have it. Oh, this is too good. We're going to wait for this response.
Yes.
This is too good. So, let's see, where else were we?
She says, "Yeah, the pressure."
I'm putting it on her.
This is the most popular you've been on the internet, babe. She says, "Ashley H, my fellow girl."
Okay, so Ashley H gets a hoodie. That's fine. That's cool. Perfect. Boom. Ashley H wins that. Ashley picked Ashley. Surprise, surprise.
Solid answer. Good
Solid
job.
answer. We're done with that one. Okay, that's one less thing I got to deal with now. I can mail that out. Just make sure you email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll drop that in the mail to you. So, boom, done. Ashley for Ashley. Yeah.
I kind of want to answer McKinley D's question here that just popped up. Asked how would you compare all the brands that are produced at GP87? That's a rough question for literally any factory because
they also make 40 something plus brands, 40 to 60 brands.
Just because a factory is good doesn't mean the boards that are coming out of the factory are going to be good, because a lot of it depends on what the person that's paying for the boards to be made chooses to be made. So you can get crap boards at a GP87. Now they're going to be made well. The quality is always going to be there, but as far as it being a good snowboard, that doesn't necessarily translate. So like, obviously we're happy with our boards and we've been really, really happy with our boards and even taken them to one of the higher end tune shops over here. He was super impressed with the finish quality and the flatness and, you know, a few other factors, but so the skill and quality of the factory that is GP87, very high. The quality of every single brand coming out of there is entirely dependent on what that brand is choosing to pay for. You know, are they paying for a good glass and the right shapes and the right core profiles and the right layups and the whatever, who knows? But as far as the capability of the factory, they are very good.
I like this question from Susan Jensen. Can you all give your honest opinions on spraying people who decide to stop and sit in the middle of the run? It's legit. Fucking spray them. If they literally are stopping in a blind, stopping in the middle, sitting down, thumb jacking their queef hole, fucking jerking off, doing whatever, sitting around on their phone, fucking spray them. They need to learn. Like, I love the people that freak out. I had a guy one time follow me down to the base of Super Be It He's like, you sprayed me. And I was like, oh no, you got snow on you while you were snow skiing. Heaven forbid you stop in a fucking blind roller and I almost killed your ass. I was like, remove your head from your ass, wipe the shit from your eyes, look around, you dipshit. That's kind of how it is. Like, spray them. Spray them. Oh, I got some girl too good last year. This was hilarious. Freaking -18 out, right? I'm coming back around from Union Meadows. So I got, you got to go through the beginner area to loop back down to Woodward Express to get back over.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting through Dino Park, the little kiddie park. This chick is straight up ripped her jacket off, pulled off all her layers. This is a sports bra. And she's trying to model to get a photo. It's -15 plus. I fucking lit her ass up. Got the camera guy. I was like, fuck you, influencer. And just kept on going. The guy's like, this, she's shivering and shit. And I was like, it's -15, bitch. What you doing?
Yeah. So, generally, I mean, I don't. Partly because most of the mountains I ride on are Vail and I work for them. So there's
don't
that.
tell people that.
It's fine. It's for a pass. Anyways. But when you're stopped in the middle of the run, that's one thing. When you're stopped in the middle of the run in a place where it's dangerous to be stopped in the middle of the run,
yeah,
you're kind of asking for it. That's my answer on that one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got capture coolness with a super chat. The no rules format is hilarious. I literally have no idea what y'all are going to do next.
That's the point.
We have no clue what we're going to do next. What's your opinion on natural selection? I love it. Love it.
Love it.
Greatest thing that's happened to snowboarding in years. Favorite thing, other than the fact that the commentators last year sucked, but I've heard that they got rid of them and Todd Richards is going to do it.
Oh, much better.
And I'm really hoping it's like him and like Gren Diesel. That would be amazing. Chris Grenier.
Oh, Grenny. Yeah.
Gren Diesel.
Okay, yeah.
So but yeah, if Todd and someone like, you don't need Sal, you don't need Mary, you don't need T-Bird, you don't need those people doing it. Like they can just fuck right off. They're awful. Like literally every time I would watch it, oh, they're talking. Fast forward, riding. Fast forward, riding. That's what I would do. Like, natural selection is so killer. I love it. I also love the fact that it's on the sport book. You can bet on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Agar turned me on to that.
Oh, wow.
He was like, yo, it's on the sports book. And I was
would
like,
not have done well. I did not guess well.
2 wild cards would have got me.
Yeah.
So with Spencer taking herself out, I was like, fuck, because she was my contender to win. Sure. And then, and
I just like seeing it because it gives like riders like Zoe, for instance, a chance to like go and do that kind of thing instead of just being a regular contest job.
Well, it's funny because where she's from, she had to come out of the contest to get a name for herself. Right. And she's like, I don't even want to, like, I do it. But she's like, I want to go do this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Like I have way
puts that kind of riding out in front of the masses, which just makes it that much more viable for riders to be able to do that instead of just being contest jocks.
No, it was cool. I sent it to my mom, and she was like, "This was the coolest thing I've seen in a long time." She's like, "I think I understand the snowboard thing better." And I was like, "Mom, I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and you're just figuring this shit out now."
That's funny.
So, I love.
Yeah.
Oh, spin again. We're going hard on this one. Where we going? Small sticker pack. Well, you know how to deal with that. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll get that in the mail for you. Just make sure you give me your mailing address. That goes for anyone that won a prize. You make sure you email me info@angrysnowboarder.com. You make sure you give me your mailing address. For some reason, people just think I'm going to know their mailing address, and I'm like, what? How does this fucking work? So, I don't get this. So yeah. All right. Okay. Oh God, Danny the Dingo was an asshole show.
This is just an MTV nonsense, wasn't it?
Pretty
Was it
much.
MTV?
No, I think it was
Wasn't it
Fuel.
Yeah.
Which Fuel's supposed to be back, and I was like,
Yeah, whatever.
it's kind of like G4 coming back and getting canceled in under a year. I was like,
the internet killed those shows.
Yeah, exactly. Like YouTube won.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, we've been here 2 hours. Let's call it a night.
All right.
We gave away a lot of stuff today. At least I did. You didn't.
I didn't.
No.
My spending was not good.
No. So, yeah. Oh God. Free girls in U City.
Ooh.
U City.
In U City.
U City. Ooh, yeah. Let's just we'll just hide that.
I mean, I guess it would.
Yeah.
Hope they're free and not enslaved.
I mean, are they really free?
No.
Are we all really free? It's an illusion. Freedom's an illusion. We live in a simulation.
We live inside the Earth, and the moon is a spaceship.
I haven't heard this one.
I just prefer to out crazy people's conspiracy theories.
So I was doing that to people for the longest time, and people would be like, "You're fucking insane," and I was like, "Have you heard the shit that comes out of your mouth?"
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna call it a night.
Yep.
We've done enough. I've done enough. I need to sleep. It's gonna take me all weekend to recover. So yeah. Oh well. I love this. Till next year, Kevin. Maybe he'll show up before then. You never know.
I've been on here since before last Black Friday, haven't I? Didn't I come over once for something?
No.
I thought I did.
You just came over and picked up boards and left.
Oh, maybe. Well, I mean, I know I've done that, but I thought I was on for something.
No, that's what we did. But
Friday.
anyways, if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. Thank you to everyone that tuned in for the 4th annual Black Friday live stream-a-thon. It's been a day. I'm fucking tired. I need to eat food. I got to take my dog for a walk. So anyways, I'll see you guys in another video.